Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. So, now that we officially have a preview of this huge update that they released on Reddit of what the details are in terms of the weapon balancing and a few of the perks and a couple of the other things, a few specialists here and there. Now that that has been officially released, I figured I'd go over in detail in terms of what I think about all this shit and where my thought process goes. And of course, down in the comment section below, you guys can always, we can respectfully compare and contrast. But we got a lot of things to go over, so I want to get straight into it. So let's get started. And by the way, I'm only going to be covering console only because I play on console only. PC is a little bit different. So yeah, there you go. So let's see. We're going to go on to the... Well, there's nothing going on with the ICR7 in terms of console. So we're moving down to the weapons in the Rampart 17. This one surprised me. Improved max damage range from 37.6 yards to 41.6 yards. I guess it wasn't improving as... I guess people are not using that weapon as much as they want them to, so I guess they gave it a little bit of a buff. But, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I still wish there was stock as an available option, but hey, that's fine. Let's move on to the Can-57. One of my favorite weapons in the game is actually getting a buff. Improved max damage range from 15.2 yards to 17.3. It's an underrated weapon in my book, and this is only going to make it better. And I like the fact that it has a little bit of a longer range kick now, so that's always good. Vapor XKG, improved 5-hit kill range from 34.7 yards to 50 yards. This gun hasn't been used that much since the beginning of the game, and I like that they're buffing it. And quite frankly, I might be using that more instead of the Maddox, which I'll get into once we get into this. And of course, they improved the ADS idle sway to be less. So I think the Vapor XKG is definitely going to be used a hell of a lot more. It's already a pretty solid weapon, but I think it's going to be obviously even more solid and easier to handle. So let's go straight on to my baby, the Maddox RFB, which, by the way, pre-nerf, sometime this week I actually got a 67 and 2 kill TDM with this weapon. And with all the different nerfs that they're giving it to this gun, I seriously doubt that it's going to be easier. I seriously doubt that it's going to be as easy to do that anymore. And it also makes me wonder in terms of how the pro scene is going to handle this. I'm not doubting their ability or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up switching from the Maddox to something else, like the Can. I personally think the Can is really good, and it actually kills very fast up close, especially if you have rapid fire. But it just depends on their thought process and whatnot. We'll see what happens. But anyway, what did they do to the Maddox? They reduced the recoil stability in the first 5 shots and in bullet pattern. So first 5 shots are going to be a little bit more rough than usual. The Echo Fire Operator mod has improved recoil stability, so I guess people are not using that enough, so they want them to use that. Quick Draw, they reduced the ADS and speed. Quick Draw 2, they did the exact same thing. Holy shit. Stock, they reduced the ADS movement speed. I don't agree with that one. Quick Draw 1 and Quick Draw 2, fine. I can live with that, but with stock, I mean, I seriously don't see why you have to reduce its ADS movement speed. It might as well be like the other ones that have that option. I don't see why they would do that. But anyway, let's keep going. Unless the stock attachment made it move side to side even more than regular assault rifles. Then if they nerfed it to be the same as the other ARs, then that's fine. But if they made it to be weaker than the other ARs, then I highly disagree with that. But anyway, let's keep going. The ELO, reduced recoil stability with the ELO, which obviously most people were using the ELO. I like both of them. I obviously use the ELO more, but I think the iron sights are pretty decent. They're definitely not the best, but they're pretty decent. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, one more thing. They reduced the max damage range from 23.6 yards to 20.8 yards. So you're not going to be able to pick people off. And that I can understand, actually, because in terms of the fire rate of the gun and all that kind of stuff, well, you're not supposed to pick people off at a distance that easily with that gun. That's what the Rampart is for, and I can agree with that. Let's see. Okay, submachine guns. The MX9 improved 5-hit kill range from 5.5 yards to 7.6 yards. I agree. Some of the SMGs need a buff, and this one is definitely one of them. It's pretty good as it is, especially if you play against people on Nuketown, but I think it's going to be a little bit better now, obviously, with this. And they improved the ADS and speed, which makes total sense. GKS, improved 5-hit kill range from 2.7 yards to 5.5. They basically doubled it. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could... Again, it's a weak gun, so that does make sense. They do want it to be competitive with the other SMGs, so I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up using that one. But hey, whatever gives me a reason to use more guns, that just makes my time with Black Ops 4 a little bit better. So as I'm reading down all this stuff, it's like, okay, we're a step closer to being the old Treyarch in terms of nerfs and buffs. I mean, obviously there's going to be a few mistakes here and there, but it is what it is. Okay, Spitfire. Reduced max damage range from 9.7 yards to 7.6. I agree. Stock. Reduced ADS movement speed. Again, I agree. Extended max. Reduced magazine size. Disagree. This gun is built to be very rapid fire gun, so I mean, you got to at least have a decent amount of bullets in order to be effective with this gun. So I disagree with that one. And fast mags, reduced reload speed enhancement. Again, disagree with that. All right, moving on to the core diet. Belt feed operator mod, reduced overheat, cooldown speed. I don't think I've ever, when I was using the core diet operator mod, whenever I did use it, I never really had much of a I never got to overheat in the first place, so I guess that's part of the reason. So, okay, I can definitely agree to a certain extent with that, but I think it would take a lot. But anyway, grip, reduce recoil stability. Not sure if I totally agree with that, but I guess it just depends on how people use the gun. I always use rapid fire on it, so which it is what it is. So we'll see. So I'm kind of 50-50 on the cordite for the most part in terms of the grip. SOG 9mm. This one's got me curious in terms of how the pro scene's going to handle it, and if they're going to switch weapons to something else now. Reduce sprint out speed, now the same as other SMGs. Okay, that I agree with. It's got to be the same as the other SMGs because it is in the SMG category. Reduced base movement speed, now the same as other SMGs. Again, same thing. Very good, I agree. Stock, reduced ADS movement speed. Agree. Stock 2, reduced ADS movement speed. Agree again. Grip, reduced recoil stability. Disagree. I think it was just fine with the grip. I think it was perfect with the grip as it is, so I guess they wanted to have even more recoil now, so I don't know, man. I don't know how the pros are going to handle this, and even regular players as well. Okay, let's see. Dual wield operator mod, reduced hipfire accuracy. Agree. Dual wield operator mod again, reduced max damage range from 11.1 yards to 8.3 yards. Again, agree. That thing is pretty much ridiculous with the operator mod, in my opinion. Damon 3XB, improved max damage range from 6.9 yards to 9 yards. I disagree for the most part because every single time I run into somebody using the Damon, that thing melts, and it's also got a good range as it is because it's a burst fire weapon. So the fact that they buffed it that much more, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, we could say I'm kind of 50-50, but for the most part, as soon as I read that, I disagreed right away. Tactical rifles, the Auger DMR, improved ADS movement speed. Okay, I can live with that. Improved firing speed. I can kind of live with that to a certain extent. And then the double tap operator mod, improved firing time between shots. Okay, look, as long as we don't get an FAL Black Ops 2 bullshit going on to where it's broken to that certain extent, then okay, I can live with that. It might be something that I might even use because the ADS movement speed, I'm all about that. Firing speed, fine. I mean, I'm not a fan of guns like that to where you have to constantly, you know, pull the trigger. But with the operator mod, that could be interesting. But we'll see. We'll see how that ends up being. If it ends up being broken, I definitely wouldn't be surprised. Okay, moving on to the next one, the ABR-223. I didn't use this weapon that much after the beginning, after they first nerfed it, so we'll see. Let's see what they do. Improved ADS movement speed. Okay, I can agree with that. Improved sprint out speed. Okay, again, I can agree with that, but it may not be enough to make the difference. We will see. It may be, especially in the hands of a good player. So I agree with those. It may not be enough, but at the same time, it is something. So we'll have to check it out. Swordfish, improved ADS movement speed. Okay. Quick Draw 2, improved ADS and speed. As if the Swordfish wasn't strong enough already. I don't know. We'll have to see how that ends up being. A downsides move. I don't know. The Swordfish, in my opinion, is pretty beastly, and more people are using it the more I play that game. So we'll see. We'll see. I guess they want people to be just a little bit more aggressive with it. Or actually, I wouldn't be surprised if the competitive scene ended up using the Swordfish now, because in Black Ops 3, it was about the M8. Same thing with Black Ops 2. So with Black Ops 4, it might go back to another tactical rifle or a burst fire weapon. All right, light machine guns, the Titan, reduce flinch resistance when being hit, okay? Reduce max damage from 46 to 38, okay? Stock, reduce ADS movement speed, okay. Those are 3 nerfs. It may not be enough, but it is something, so I guess they're still going to have to play with it as time goes on. It's still going to be beastly, though, I think, but we will see. We will see. All right, the Haiti, oh, that's PC. Sniper rifles, the Paladin, oh, never mind, that's PC only. Outlaw, console only, improved firing speed, okay. I don't see why they need to buff sniper rifles anymore. All right, moving on. Koshka, improved ADS sway. Man, console only, quick draw 2, improved ADS and speed. Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Pistols, RK7 Garrison, improved all damage ranges. Okay, that's fine. Shotguns, Mog 12, Dragon's Breath Operator mod. Now does 1 quick blast of fire damage instead of damage over time. This increased one hit kill potential at certain close ranges and is especially effective when paired with choke barrel. Well, we'll see. I guess the Mog 12 wasn't getting enough love thanks to the SG12. Improved max damage range from 3.75 to 4.1 yards. Whatever. Quick draw, improved ADS and speed. Whatever. Again, if it becomes a bitch, we'll definitely be quick to tell them that. It could end up being something that ends up being a little bit more quote unquote broken or cheesy, but we will see. Console only, barrel choke, improved accuracy, pellet damage, and max damage range. Whew, I don't know, man. This could be the next. I don't know. SG12 strobe light operator mod, reduce luminosity on visual light effect. Okay, I agree with that, but they needed to do something else as well. I mean, that thing like basically fucks with your aim assist. Okay, so that shouldn't be happening. You need to at least be able to have a fair gunfight in that aspect, and I think that's why people use it more than anything. It's not because of the light itself, but it's because of the fact that, well, it fucks with people's aim assist, and people know that. They need to address that shit, and they didn't. So they need to get on it, man. Specialists, the Prophet, the Seeker, greatly reduced Seeker's hit points. It can now be destroyed with 1 bullet. Okay, very good. Reduced detection range for most enemies with cold-blooded. Again, very good. Ajax, 9-bang. Reduced visual opacity of screen flash when hit by 9-bang. Yes. Players will no longer raise their hand when flashed by it if they have tactical mask. Yes, again. Players can now change stances when flashed. Yes. General, active specialist weapons now lose all cooldown in round change as opposed to partial loss previously. Okay. Very good. I agree. Equipment, frag grenade, increased damage. Sure, why not? We'll see. We'll say yes. Concussion grenade. Players can now stun themselves with their own concussion grenade. Yes, that's been something with every Call of Duty, so yes, I agree. Players will no longer raise their hands when affected by concussion grenade if they have tactical mask. Yes, I agree. Gear, the acoustic sensor. Reduce the ranges at which acoustic sensor can detect enemies. Yes. Reduce the ranges at which enemies with dead silence are detected. Yes, again. Very good. Perks, tactical mask. Player now recovers faster after being hit by Tempest. Yes. Players will no longer raise their hand when flashed by the 9-bang. Yes, again. No longer provides fire or radiation resistance. Yes. That should be something that belongs in another perk, which gets us to the next one, which is Flak Jacket. Very good. Fire and radiation resistance move from tactical mask to Flak Jacket. Yes. That makes a lot more sense. Improve Flak Jacket resistance to radiation and burn. Yes. Good. All of a sudden now Flak Jacket all of a sudden becomes a little bit more potent. So it does what it's supposed to do. So people are going to be using that more. Very good. So that makes perks viable again. Cold-blooded. Reduce the range at which enemy seeker can detect player with this perk. Yes. Okay. Score streaks. Pretty much, long story short, every single score streak pretty much got a buff for the most part. You know, like it's... I need not say more, but that's pretty much it. All the score streaks pretty much got a buff, so that is very, very good. So for the most part, I agree with this update. And the other thing that I have in mind is how many gigabytes is this motherfucker going to be? Because updates in this game have been taking up a lot of space in people's hard drives, man. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what they do. In terms of how much space it's going to be. If that information has already been released, I apologize, but I did not see it here in these patches, in these patch notes. I'm scrolling up right now as I'm doing this, so that way I could see exactly how big it is. But no, I don't see it. So for the most part, good stuff. Some more potential bullshit, obviously, because when you change something and make something else stronger, it could eventually be broken. But at the same time, I think it's we're one step closer to. I think we're one step closer to basically to a much better experience with this game. Again, we are with this patch. I think the game experience is already going to be better, but we're going to be closer to that potential. And another question I have before I leave you guys here is, do you guys think that it's too late now? I mean, there's a lot of people that left this game already. So do you guys think it's too late? So let me know down in the comment section below what you think in terms of that. And that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comment section what you think and what your opinions are. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know, and if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.